wow, 3 months ago we started this. But I realized in the end, you need that weird together for a long time and all this stuff in the end that makes it a great. Problem we've had in development for pilots is this. You find a great comedian and you go, oh my God, we're going to give him a show. And then you put that great comedian when he's working on his material for 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, every day in front of an audience. He comes there, does a brilliant set. Then you cast him, and guess what? He can't act. This part says you're an actor. So they never doubt this after seeing you in this show.
The showcase is really one of the high points, I think, of our diversity initiatives. This is our 7th year doing this particular type of showcase format, which we call the Multicultural Diverse Sketch Comedy Showcase, and that involves thousands of applicants, and to come down to these 23 that will be here tonight, that allow us to put these new faces in front of the room full of industry executives. These are new faces to most folks in the room. They're not only brilliant actors, but they're great writers, and they're funny.
When you have different voices, I think it helps to get a better product. And I've seen that in this experience with writers that from different backgrounds, they'll bring something to the table, and then another diverse opinion will come in, and you see how it actually does shift. The perspective shift can help the sketch get better, and a performance too.
I first heard about the CBS program because what they've been doing is they've been using some of my sketches and monologues from my other shows. And Fern Orenstein said, hey, would you like to direct it? And I said, sure, but I was on Broadway doing a play called Latino Logs with Cheech Marin, who was directing it. And I said, if I'm going to leave Broadway when this runs, I think I can do it, but I want this to truly be the best showcase in Hollywood. Here's the next lesson. There's a difference between an actor and a performer. You guys want to know what the difference is? Mm-hmm. An actor is perfect. He stays in the lane. He fulfills it. A performer is the actor with a little bit of a twinkle in his eye, who is into making people laugh, into taking that audience and taking it to another step. And they will use comedy, they'll use stand-up, they'll use improv, they'll use a lot of different things at their disposal to get that, to make an overall performance. That's the difference.
Then I get
I'm in the Rose Room next door. I just came on the Amish quilt.
right there with the
Jimmy came in and said he came on the quilt. And did you notice that he got some cum on his forehead?
Yes, this little
tiny
specifics.
weird thing. That's what I saw. And I'm telling you, it is once people start to see you on stage, they're really. I think actors don't realize how much you are everything to them. They're sitting there, they're taking in their whole entire world by watching every single action you do.
We've done showcases for, I believe now it's almost 11 years. The other showcases that we were doing were diversity showcases, but they weren't original sketch. So what we found was also, as opposed to pulling scenes from theater or movies or television, to be able to write your own sketch, it's a lot funnier, and the casting directors like to come and see original material.
I'm a writer for the show. I had a few sketches in the show. Working with the cast, it makes all the difference in the world when they're great. These guys are pros, and they're all awesome, and they're all going to be on their own shows someday. And Rick and Fern treat everybody with respect, but also, they want to make sure that the people all came together. Like shows like this comes up next to be like a fight. Almost like who's going to be the biggest star, who's going to shine to do this. And they were preaching ensemble from day one. And I think it really shows. It shows that the cast all really likes one another. They all work really well together. And they developed a real chemistry. So I think that not only are these people going to go on to great things, they'll probably go on to great things together, too. Being a director or a coach, you have to be the calmest person in the room. Most of the actors are going through angst and fear and everything else. I'm trying to take that away from them. By the time they're in front of the industry, they're not fearful of the industry. They're there to do their show, and they're proud of it. We work on the writing, so we have different writers are brought in, and I work with them, so the actors understand what the process for writing is. If you're a writer, you're going to understand the process of actors, how they rehearse and make a scene better each time. And for casting directors, normally they only see the end of the process. They just see a great show. So we actually spend a lot of times in the process. So it is a learning kind of a boot camp. But what comes out of it is some of the best performers in the world.